Hi everyone. Are you a mom that asks yourself, how do I stop enabling my adult child? Maybe you're thinking, am I unintentionally hindering their growth or self-reliance, right? So if your adult child is relying on you for absolutely everything, many times it includes finances, right? So I want you to stay tuned for this video today because we're going to talk about a few ways on how to stop enabling and what are some things you can consider and look at in that process. So I want to help you break free from those enabling behaviors. So for those of you that are new to my channel, I just want to welcome you. My name is Sally Harris, and I'm a mom that walked this difficult road with my own daughter for over a decade. And when her life spiraled, so did mine. And I promise you, it does not have to be that way. So I have several tips here that I'm just going to briefly go through because I think they're important for you to consider in stopping enabling your child. And like I mentioned in the last video, it really is important to take a look at this because we learned in the last video about why we enable. So now let's talk about how do we stop. So first of all, just like anything else in life, we have to recognize and acknowledge the fact that this is what's going on. So I want you to just take a step back. I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to really be objectively assessing what is happening. I want you to maybe even make a list of what those things are, what the impact has been, and acknowledge how that enabling your son or your daughter is affecting their own personal growth and how they rely on you or your family for absolutely everything. So, for example, maybe you are enabling with money. It's probably one of the biggest things that moms struggle with, but there's other things too. But really, if you can make a list of those things and really be honest about how, by me giving Johnny or Susie this money every time they ask for it, how is it affecting their life? How's it affecting my life, right? So another is setting boundaries. So once you figure out what those, once you take that step back and make that list, I want you to consider what boundaries do you put around that? Because you really need to clearly define limits, what your expectations are on, maybe it is finances in this case, and really calmly communicate with your adult child, but yet be calm and kind and loving, but also assertive in the sense that they understand that you really mean business and that you are going to hold to your standards this time. Because I know how many of you give and give and give and give, and you think it's going to be the last time until you feel that pressure again. You feel like you've been manipulated by them. And so by doing that, another tip is you're empowering independence. And that's what we want. We want to empower our kids to be independent, right? So we want them to be able to make their own decisions. We want them to take responsibility. And some of your kids aren't doing that, right? And so we want to promote for them to grow in their own life, in their own career, in their own, just with their finances, all of that. But many times moms kind of interfere in that, right? So while we're empowering independence, you also have to allow some consequences, right? So we need to reframe from rescuing them from natural consequences. And I know that many of you struggle with that. Maybe it is financial, maybe it is bailing them out of jail, maybe it is rescuing them when they become homeless. There are a myriad of reasons and situations that you all are going through. So I want you to remember that there's natural consequences in life. You and I have them, right? But we're not allowing our kids to have them. We're kind of putting all that on our shoulders when in reality, they need to be able to shoulder those themselves. Another is while you are doing all of this, the most important thing for you to do is take care of yourself. So you need to prioritize your emotional well-being over all of this, because I promise you, if you're not, this is going to drive you into so much anxiety. And I don't want that for you. And by you prioritizing your own self in this process, it's going to help. I have many moms that I work with that I see where they can pass along some of this to maybe their husband, maybe it's their the child's father, maybe it's not, maybe it's a step parent or whomever, or a grandparent, somebody that can help you take this load, right? Because you're not meant to do this alone. In fact, for those of you that have not done a consultation with me, if you're interested in learning more about how to do all of this stuff and have a community around you to support you through this journey, I want you to click the discovery call link below, and you and I will have a consultation. It's not a coaching call, but I get to know you and you get to know me, and I can hear more about the situation, and I can let you know how I can help you. But while you're doing all of this and you're creating this environment, this new environment of stopping enabling, sometimes it's a process, and that's okay. But you need to communicate that. You need to communicate with your child what that's going to look like. So I hope that helps you today, and I really want to encourage you that there is success and love and relationship on the other side of this. It can be a little rocky when you first change the way you've been doing things, because our kids are not used to that. So if you've always enabled, that's all they know, and they're expecting that. So when you switch gears and want to make changes and encourage them to solve their own problems, they're probably not going to like it, okay? Just being honest. But it's okay. Like, there is natural consequences. That's how we learn. That's how I've learned. That's how you've learned in life. And our children are no different. So I hope that helps you today, and I'll see you in the next video.